everybody, and welcome back to our Gianna. What number are we on? I feel like this is 12.
13? I think 12
13?
last week.
Okay, 13th episode, lucky 13 of Play Like a Girl. I'm your host, Laura.
And I'm your other host, Gianna, and we are so excited that you're back, and we have another great guest. Well, she was actually on the show before, and we brought her back to talk about Sarah Fuller, who has been all over the media lately.
Yeah, she's a blast from the past, but we're really excited to have her on this episode. So we'd like to introduce to you Maddie Alves. Hi, Maddie.
Hi guys.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So let's jump right into it. Sarah Fuller has been all over the news, and you being a female athlete, but also a female football player, we want to know how, what's been in the media has affected you and your teammates, and how you're really taking it in.
Kind of like your perspective, almost.
Yeah. Well, the minute that was broadcasted, all over the spectrum, I was receiving so many texts and stuff like, "Oh, look at this girl. She reminds me of you." Like, some people were telling me, me, all this stuff. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome." I'm so impressed that that girl even could be shown on that type of platform. And just the fact that she was getting out there in front of hundreds and thousands of people is so awesome. And to see the type of support she's receiving is just incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome kind of how she started as she started soccer too. Vanderbilt just won the SEC for soccer. And I think it's interesting how females are getting recognized in other sports to play in a completely different sport. You know what I'm saying? It was your kick that went viral on Barstool. Mm-hmm. So now it's okay, soccer, these girls could be really good in football too, playing this totally different sport, which is interesting.
It's awesome. I'm glad girls just like Sarah are breaking barriers and just showing that, we're just as capable of doing what all the guys are doing, so that's just awesome that she got that type of recognition.
Yeah, for sure. Our second question was kind of, has she inspired you to kind of want to be a female athlete like that because of the social media coverage she's gotten? I feel like it's kind of overwhelming to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, when I saw that, I was like, this is crazy. She's going to play Division I football. And, I was checking through social media because obviously this was on all types of platforms. And I was checking some comments and seeing some people being so negative about it, giving it such a negative outlook. And, as much as she inspires me, I feel terrible that some people look at it as a negative thing. So,
yeah, for sure.
But, I take that into perspective. Then I also think, this is awesome. This girl is, again, like I said, breaking barriers. So, the possibilities are endless. So I'm just, now that she's done that, I'm looking into some colleges. So it's cool,
Well, that's kind of the point of it, basically. I mean, for her to get such a big stage and be able to show what she can do at such a high level, it really is. I mean, I hope it's inspiring other people. I hope she feels that way too. You know what I mean? So it's all good. I feel like.
Sorry, no, you could go.
I was gonna say, I was checking some of these social media platforms, TikTok. I was looking through, and I noticed so many girls are playing football throughout the country and are just now showing themselves, because I think they were afraid before to see the backlash. But this girl has just shown that there are so many others that are following right in her footsteps, and we're just afraid to show it. So that was
For
just
sure,
another.
yeah.
I was gonna say, going back to like the social media aspect, when you went viral for your kick on Barstool, I remember you saying that your phone was blowing up, and I was reading an article about Sarah Fuller, and she said that her point was getting blown up to the extent where she had to like turn it off. Did that happen to you when your kick was viral? Like everybody was hitting you up, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I wasn't put on all the type of platforms she was, so I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah.
There was definitely a point in time where I was like, all right, let me take a minute. Like I'm obsessed with my phone, like checking like everything, all my notifications. But I think at one point I did take a step back from my phone just to embrace like what happened. So I'm not so focused on my phone. But I did take a quick step back just to really bring it all in and show that like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I think I took a step back just to, take a moment. So
It's like you want to experience it yourself. You want to have your own emotions towards it, kind of, rather than like expressing what you accomplished and then seeing everyone else's reactions. You kind of just want to have your reaction first.
Yeah.
So I get that completely. I would totally put my phone on Do Not Disturb if I was getting that many notifications.
Yeah. Especially seeing it everywhere. And like I was getting like so many texts for her. I can only imagine what she got.
For sure. That's what I'm saying.
So when when this first aired like 2 or 3 days ago, did your teammates say anything to you, or did you reach out to them, and were you like, have you seen this girl? Like, have your teammates been saying anything?
Yeah, actually, a few of my teammates had texted me, even like their family group chats. They were like, oh, send this to Maddie, stuff like that. So a lot of people had thought of me once they had seen it. And just like
that's awesome.
Yeah, just like my parents, my family, they were all sending it out. They were like, this is so cool. You can do this, all this stuff. So I had.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes you feel good. It's like they think about me when they see a girl who's doing really well. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. Especially my friends too. Like usually like at my age, they're not really invested in this stuff. But for them to reach out to me and say like, oh, this is so cool was really like nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, do you think oh, sorry, Gianna, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I was going to say, because you were talking about, you were looking at colleges. Are you interested in applying to Vanderbilt then?
Well, I mean, as awesome as that would be, obviously, like, my focus is still soccer. So if I, were to ever get that opportunity, I'd look right into it. But right now, I'm trying to like spread everything out, see what I'm looking at. But I mean, if I ever got the opportunity, I'd be right over there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Gianna, don't pressure her. Let her get her, foot. She needs to set her feet first.
Well, my friend goes there. One of my friends from when I was growing up, and she absolutely loves it there. So I was just gonna say it's a beautiful school.
Yeah.
Is she saying a lot about this Sarah thing?
Yeah, she like texted me and she was like, "Look at this," and I was like, "I know."
I already know.
Like everybody that goes to Vanderbilt is so hyped up. Like I would be if I went to that school.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm really glad too that people, at least at Vanderbilt, are embracing it because, again, like I said about social media, there are definitely some people that aren't too stoked about it.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're going to go on a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the 13th episode of Play Like a Girl. We hope you stayed through the commercial break. We have Maddie Alves back with us today. So, Maddie, we talked a lot about the Sarah Fuller situation. It's been going a lot on social media. I kind of wanted to talk about you, back to you really quickly. Last time we spoke, you were talking a lot about football and how you went viral on Barstool and all that stuff, your experience with that. I kind of had a question. What's changed since we last spoke to you? have you been working more with soccer or training for football?
Yeah. So basically, unfortunately, with like everything going on now, the football season was pushed back until further notice. I'm not even sure when it's supposed to happen. So
Okay.
right now, I have been focusing on soccer. I was fortunate enough to have a season this year.
Nice.
So I've been doing that, but my dad's been, pestering me about let's go to the field, let's kick, get it going. So I've been doing that, but mostly I've been focusing on soccer, but I'll get back into the swing of things and hopefully have a season in the spring,
How was your soccer season?
Good. We made it to quarterfinals and
Nice.
fortunately lost, but I was just glad we even had somewhat of a season, with everything going on. It's so tough. So I'm really glad about that.
It's crazy. Nobody can do anything, and it's getting worse. Like the coronavirus is just still spreading, and it's closing everything down. So we'll see.
I feel like this is a surge right now, and everyone says we're gonna have another surge. So I'm like really super stressed about sports, kind of, and like what is going to come for these high school athletes, because I know some football seasons that were canceled in this fall were supposed to have a winter season, but now that's like could be compromised.
Yeah, because that's postponed.
And then I had received news that the recruiting process was extended to, I think it was April 15th. So that's just another setback for, students. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
It is unfortunate.
I know, like when I played softball, the recruiting process was it was kind of fun, but it was also difficult. Then you had to submit videos and post it on a website. Is it the same for soccer? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, it's basically the same type of thing. You just try and get tons of film because especially with everything going on now.
That's all there is literally film.
Exactly. Like these now, especially if someone's really interested in Division I, it's tough around this time. So film is basically what everyone's relying on. So we don't really have that because we only had so many games this season, so it's tough.
Yeah.
My team, like I usually go to competitions, they're doing virtual competitions. Like they're literally recording their routine or their program and sending it into the judges.
Oh,
like,
what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, this is like crazy. And like the recruiting process, the transfer process for athletes right now is so messed up. Like everything's so out, and I don't know, it's all crazy. I feel so bad for high school athletes, and I seriously like feel for these college athletes that just like aren't having a season. I don't know. I feel so bad.
I know, it's terrible. And these poor seniors too, I can't even imagine what they're
for sure.
It's also just like physically and mentally draining because you go to school to play the sport. Like also you're getting your grades, you're doing as much as you could, but like you look forward to playing sports, and sometimes it's somebody's like escape from reality. So like what these kids who can't even step foot on a field or who can't even go to practice right now.
Exactly. To be completely honest, if I was in high school when this was happening, I would seriously think my life was over.
Yeah.
Like because I would have nothing to do other than go to school. So I feel for you.
Yeah, how are you feeling with all of it, Maddie? How are you like maintaining it and coping with it?
Are you back at school or is it completely virtual now?
It's completely virtual. So it's not I can go in and feel somewhat normal. We're completely online. Now high school soccer is over, so I'm just sitting home for 6 hours and then gonna work out, which I'm glad I can even do that. Come home.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Without soccer or any type of fall season, I was like, my mind was just in circles. I didn't know what I was doing, so it's thanks.
This quarantine is getting to everybody, you guys.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Like, have you seen your teammates, like, or are you just staying home because your parents like I know my parents don't want me like going out. So are your parents like making you stay home, or have you seen any of them?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking like all the precautions. I'm staying home. The only time I really do see them is if I'm practicing or if I want to get a workout. But usually around the same people. I try not to spread out just for so
yeah. I feel like everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it stinks, but it is what it is for everyone's safety.
Oh yeah.
Like this Thanksgiving was even crazy. I couldn't even see my entire family. I was just with my immediate family. We all did separate Thanksgivings. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a quiet Thanksgiving, I feel like.
Yeah.
So quiet. It was like lonely almost. I'm like, it's just my family, my brother and my mom and dad. I was like, what is this?
I know. It's like I feel bad being like guys, I want more people here, but like I want more people here.
Doesn't that sound like over the top if we say, oh, I want more family here? It's crazy.
I know. It's like no one ever kind of says that, but like I'm already thinking about Christmas and I'm like, is Christmas even going to be fun? Like, I don't know.
I love to not see family. It's just like disheartening.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys like FaceTime your other family, like your other family members when you were having Thanksgiving dinner?
See, we didn't think of that. Like we obviously texted and stuff. We were sending pictures back and forth, but we were like, we had Zoomed so many times. I think we were kind of over it. We were like, all right, we're going to do this Zoom again. I'm sick of it. You know, we just want to see. So,
yeah. We definitely did a little virtual call at my house. I feel like we did like a 30-minute cocktail hour, but like I didn't stay for the full 30 minutes. But like I'm pretty sure that's what we did at my house. Yeah.
That's
family. It's just so tough now. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, Maddie, I have one last question for you, and it's kind of like it kind of summarizes the whole situation. You already spoke upon it, which I was happy you did, but when I was looking at all the stuff about Sarah Fuller and everything that was posted, I did see so many hate comments, like really more than I expected. And I'm wondering if that happened to you when you went viral on Barstool. Did you have any hate comments?
So it wasn't like I didn't receive any hate comments, but I definitely heard like word around the street of like, oh, that's not that difficult, you know, a little like jibber jabber. Like, but again, I was not put on such an enormous platform as she has been. So like, I can only imagine how she's feeling. It's like you have the happiness of, oh my gosh, all this support, and then you also have such negativity that she received.
Yeah.
So I like fortunately did not receive like anything of that sort. I mean, there were a few comments that I heard, but I didn't really let it get to me. But for her, I don't know how she's coping with some of this stuff. I don't know how I take it, honestly.
You just got to try to remind yourself that like there's 5 hate comments and 5,000 like you're doing awesome comments. You know what I'm saying? It just outweighs, but that's kind of what I was wondering. I wonder how she's dealing with that, you know?
Exactly. And that's tough too, because you have some of these kids that are just sitting at home but trying to criticize her for
I know.
Even some kids that don't really know football, like that kick was intentional. She wasn't planning on booting it, you know? They were trying to kick. So for some kids to just totally disrespect her was just, I don't know, just plain out rude. But again, that was
inappropriate. It's like juvenile. It's not needed.
Exactly. And I'm sure honestly she doesn't even see half the comments because there's
Well, unfortunately, like in the sports world or just like in the media anyway, there's always going to be people that try and like put you down, and all you have to do is just turn your back and you have to be like, I don't care. Like, this is my accomplishment. I did this, and you can't say anything less.
Absolutely.
And you're probably no. Go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
I was just saying she's in history, so for her to even like look at those comments is just so irrelevant.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I was just gonna say that these kids that are probably commenting or sitting on their couch while she's on the field, like it's just so. I don't know.
Absolutely. I know. So yeah, I didn't really receive anything crazy, at least through the social media, but I can only imagine she's, you know, seeing it all.
Oh yeah. Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear you didn't get too much of that.
Yeah.
So my last question is always my last question, but I'm gonna change it up because you answered it the last time you were.
It very well. Gianna just wants to change it.
I'm just switching it. Like I always say, what does it mean to play like a girl? But this time, Sarah Fuller has that on her helmet. It literally says "play like a girl" on her helmet. So why do you think she has that there, and why do you think it's so important that she has that logo there?
Well, you know, I think she just wants to show all these girls that are afraid to, you know, really go out of their way and play this type of sport, play like a male dominated sport. I just think she just wants to show everyone that they're more than capable of doing these types of things. And I think just this weekend, she proved to not only herself, but everyone around the world that we're more than capable of fulfilling these dreams. So I think for her to put that on the back of her helmet is awesome and just a great way to show everyone that like we can do it. We can play just as much as the guys do, you know? So I think she did that.
That was, I agree.
I do too. I think her putting that there too, like she knew she was making history playing in that game as the first woman to play in a Power 5 game. I think like she knew the importance of what she was doing, and that's why she wanted to express that so much. I mean, I don't know the girl personally, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking is what her thought maybe.
Yeah, and I feel like now that she's put that platform out there and showed everyone that you could do whatever you dream of, I've honestly been seeing so many more girl football players just like out of the blue being like, oh, I did this and
Yeah,
that. I think it's awesome that more girls are just playing football and doing what they can do.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the reason why all of these girls are now posting themselves and saying, I can also do this, this is what I can do, this is me, is because of the Play Like a Girl on her helmet. Because she's proving to everybody that what she did is literally changing history, and she's showing everybody that they can also change history. Like anybody can do what they set their minds to.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Well, Maddie, we thank you again for being on our episode. We loved having you for the second time, of course.
Thank you guys for having me.
No
problem. Good luck with your rest of the school year and like any season you have, if you have one.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
She's so cute.
Yeah, I love her. I definitely want to have her on again. I want to see where she goes in the future, which school she ends up at.
Yeah, for sure. She's a fun guest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. This was a lot of chat about Sarah Fuller and the difference she's making, everything she's doing for women in sports today. I thought we both thought it was a good topic to discuss, and Maddie, being a female football player, was a good person to have on.
Nobody else that we'd rather discuss that with. So
I know, and she's like, she can't relate. I mean, she can, we can't. Gianna, imagine us on the football. I don't know about that one. Well, thank you guys for tuning into the 13th episode of Play Like a Girl. As you all know, this is the podcast called Play Like a Girl.
For the girls.
See you next week.
Bye.